Hey guys, this is CS50's game development course assignment number 5, and the game this time is The Legend of Zelda. The aim is simple: kill the monsters, trigger the switch, and move on to the next level for as long as you can. The first task in my assignment was to randomly spawn a heart whenever an entity is killed. Initially, nothing would spawn if an entity were to die. Now, there is a 30% chance that the heart will be generated. If the odds happen to be in your favor, a new object that is the heart will be created and added to the objects table. The heart also has an on-collide function which checks if the player's health is full. If not, the heart is collected and the health is incremented by 2 or 1 depending on how much health the player has. Otherwise, the heart remains unaffected. As you can see, arbitrarily upon the death of an entity, the heart is generated and the health is incremented accordingly. The next is the pot update. I have divided this update into 3 parts. The first is the spawning of pots, second is to lift them, the third is to be able to throw the pot and incur damage to the entities. Talking about spawning, this was by far the easiest thing to do in the assignment. Assign a variable a random value which is not greater than 10 and then create that many number of pots throughout the map. Here is the result on various dungeons. And as for the pot to track the player, there is a function in GameObjects class called TrackPlayer which assigns it the player's coordinates. Next is the lifting of pots. For this, I have created a player lift box, which is nothing but a 16 pixels by 16 pixel square. It is generated using a function in player.lua called the lift box, which basically returns a rectangle based on where the player is looking. After that, it checks if the lift box is colliding with any pots. If so, then the player can press X to lift the pot. And as for that, I have created 3 new states: pot idle, pot walk, and pot throw. Pot idle and pot walk states are just the same as the player idle and player walk states, except for the animations and not being able to swing the sword. And as for the pot throw state, I will talk about it later in the video. Now the last is to incur damage to the entity through the pot. As you witnessed in the last clip, the pot was moving. That was achieved by this function. In the GameObject class, the projectile function tweaks the position of the pot based on the player's direction. If the pot is a projectile and collides an entity, it incurs 1 point of damage to it. After 0.5 seconds, by which the pot has traveled 4 blocks, it gets destroyed. The pot can also be destroyed if it hits any walls. While getting destroyed, it also plays a sound. Now the last thing that I wanted to talk about is the player pot throw state. It's a very simple state, nothing much happens here except that the pot's position is tweened and the throwing animation is played for a duration of 0.3 seconds. And after 0.3 seconds have elapsed, the player state is changed to idle again. That's all that's happening in the state, nothing major. So that was my assignment. Thank you so much for sticking out till the end.